Hey guys, this is Stephanie and I'm Stacks on Stacks on Stacks. I'm coming to you guys from a new location today. This is in my living room. It is so nice today outside. It is beautiful. And I honestly just didn't want to go in my basement. Honestly, I was like, I don't want to go to my basement. I just want to stay up in the living room. I was reading up here and it was wonderful. So I was like, I'm just going to bring my camera stand up here. So get a new view of my house. It's a little messy, but I think you guys are okay with that. I'm actually sitting on my dog's couch. Yes, my dogs have a couch of their own because they lay on it all day long so they can look out the window and chase squirrels and rabbits and whatnot. They have really full lives. And it's also covered in dog hair and I'm wearing black pants. So this is a really good combination, I'm realizing, because I do have to go back to work after this. I may be regretting this decision. But the hair's already there, so let's get going with my Monday reads. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed in my reading week last week. It was the second week of the Tome Infinity and Beyond readathon, which is a 2-week readathon for science fiction books, and I was ridiculously excited for a sci-fi readathon because I forget how much I enjoy reading sci-fi. I really do. So basically, you were supposed to get off Earth on one of 4 ships, go visit 3 planets, the 3rd one you can live on, and if you can do more than that, great. And each prompt is a different book. Well, I did not technically leave Earth. The book I was going to leave Earth on was Jurassic Park and I didn't finish it. And I also didn't land on my planet, Uranus. Every time. Because I didn't finish that book either, but I did read the 2 middle books. So if that counts for anything. I read Antimorphous Vischer by K.A. Applegate. And actually gave this like a 2.5 or 3.0, I don't remember now. But it was actually pretty good. It's definitely middle grade, very quick read. And I really did like it. I started it actually the first week of the readathon, and then I finished it yesterday, which was Sunday. And Sunday morning I woke up and realized I had begun 4 books, and I have not finished one for this readathon. I almost wanted to give myself an extra week because I didn't do anything with it the first week. I should have. Next time I will plan better. This is a book about an alien race that is trying to take over the human race and use our bodies as hosts, basically. But it's kind of like a trial is going on, so we're finding out all this information as it's being revealed in the trial. It is a good world and it is well written. I think this is like somewhere in the middle of a huge series, but I think a lot of the books are standalones. I did like it. I would be interested in reading more by this author. I wasn't blown away by it, but it was also written in 1999, and I just think writing styles, even in just, 20 years, have changed. I also finished Illuminae by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Finally. I'm going to take this cover off because it's ridiculously reflecty. I didn't have it on when I was reading it anyway. I really did like this book. So I listened to the first third of it or so to kind of get over the hump. At first, I really felt like this book was too teen angsty. I love, but I don't love, and I don't know anything, which irritates me in books, which is probably why I've been shying away from YA quite a bit lately. But everybody guaranteed me that goes away, and it did, which was fantastic. Now this, most of you guys can know, is very, very interestingly written, has pages like this, and conversations, and things like this. And I feel like reading the book and not listening to the book was way, way better. They did have a full cast doing the characters, which is really fun. I usually really like that if I'm listening to a book. But part of the experience for me was actually reading it. And some of the pages were just straight up art in addition to words. And I was like, this was beautiful. So I did like this book. I gave it a 4.5. I probably would have given it a 5, except that to me, it was a very slow uptake. It took a while. I did start this 3 different times. I'm not going to lie. And then I finally finished this time. It did take a while for me to have more interest in what was going on. And the reason why, I felt like I went into this and I didn't really know anything about it is because, who wants to know too much about a book? The surprise is part of it. But I would say this is a book that is told in case files and whatnot. And we're following a boyfriend and girlfriend named Ezra and Katie, who actually had just broken up. So I guess they're ex-boyfriend and girlfriend. And their planet's getting blown up and they get taken off the planet onto 2 separate ships. So it's kind of a matter of they just broke up, so they're not together. But, they almost died and that might change things, which is what I was told about the book. But then there's this entire other plot that comes in I don't want to tell you about because it was so great. But let's just say there's a lot of political intrigue that I didn't think was going to be there. And I did see some of the surprising parts coming, but I did enjoy it. It is a series I will definitely continue. I just need to get my hands on the other 2 books. So those are the only 2 books that I finished last week, but I did almost finish Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. I have like 100 pages or less. I have less than 100 pages left of this one. This I did like. The text stuff is like off the charts. They go into so much detail about how the dinosaurs are made and this and this and this. And I got a little bored with it, but I was like, oh, I didn't realize that like the movie is like action, 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 which I haven't seen in a long time. So when I finish this, I'm totally gonna watch the movie. And the book though is super technical, which really surprised me. And the kids in the movie, I feel like were a little annoying. The girl in this book, I want to hit with a velociraptor. She's so whiny. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm like, you're gonna die, kid. She's annoying. I feel like I would almost rather face the T-Rex than 100 more pages with her. But maybe the book is different from the movie and maybe she dies. And I'm about 100 pages into The Martian by Andy Weir. I'm loving this. This is hilarious. People are like, oh, it's a really funny book. It is a funny book. I am totally digging this book. He swears quite a bit, but it's super funny and it's in pretty applicable ways, I would say, as well. This is one I started it on Saturday and I literally read a chapter. And now I'm on chapter 11. So I made some progress. I read a little bit yesterday and then I read more this morning and I'm loving it. I will definitely have it finished before next week. I'll probably finish in the next day or 2. It's a super quick read. And like I said, it's funny and it makes me want to watch the movie again, which I liked. This is the movie cover. I rarely buy books with movie covers, so surprise. I'm also planning on finishing Save the Date by Morgan Matson this week. I am halfway through this. I didn't read it at all last week. I need to finish it because I have to take it back to the library. So unless I check it out one more time, which I might, I don't know. But basically, I just need to finish it. I think my problem is other Morgan Matson books, I've really enjoyed like most of them. So I just have torn through them. But this one, my main character she's kind of stupid. Like she's doing some really dumb things. She's making some dumb girl mistakes. And I'm like, nah, I'm not a fan of that. I do like how she's writing the family dynamics quite a bit. So maybe I can just focus on that and finish it that way. I don't know. I did actually I got about a chapter, 2 chapters of this read. I had to give back the copy that was borrowed. So I bought my own copy so I can write in it this time. And I am very much liking this book. It really does break down why we show love the way we do and basically talks about how none of us show it like perfectly. Hence the miscommunications between people. Like some people are like, I just want to be with him. And some guys are like, she is smothering me, and how you just miss each other. This kind of explains why we do that. A lot of it has to do with our upbringing, how we're brought up, and how like my upbringing can differ from my sister's upbringing because we grew up in different times during the family dynamic. I got the workbook to go with it. So I am not going to be plowing through this. I'm probably actually going to start it over and do it with the workbook. So I will get through it eventually, but I'm very much enjoying this, analyzing different love styles. And it's not personalities, it's love styles. And I like the fact that they differentiate that too. This is way out of the norm of what I normally read. Girl. You ever feel like you had somebody breathing down your neck? I grabbed was Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I'm not 100% sure if I'll be getting to this one or not. This is the one that I got in my Coffee in a Classic box a couple months ago. Maybe this last month, I don't remember. But my friend McKenna and I, who both get the same box, decided we wanted to buddy read this together. And this is not a short book. It is written like 150 years ago, I think. And it is kind of like the first murder mystery book ever written, like before Sherlock Holmes and all that. So it's old writing, it's really small print, and it's like 500 pages long. So I am not 100% certain if I will actually get this started. And then next week is my Get Graphic With It readathon, where we are reading graphic novels all week. So I won't be reading any of these. I kind of want to be at a good stopping point with all of them, to be honest. So that's why this one's kind of on the fence. But if I don't read it this week, I won't be reading it for 2 weeks. So I'll need to talk to McKenna and I need to see what she's thinking, because I told you, squirrels. Temperance, stop. Okay, the squirrel's gone now. To be honest, this one is kind of at the bottom of my TBR. Like, I want to get to it, but at the same time, if I don't get to it, I'm not going to really freak out or anything like that. So, like I said, this one's up in the air. I'm trying to decide. I'm not for sure about it. And I have 2 books on audio that I was planning on listening to this week. The first one is My Plain Jane by Cynthia Han, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. And you're probably thinking, I thought you owned that book, and I do own the book, but I loaned it to a friend, requested from the library, and it came in on audio, so I'm gonna listen to it this week, most likely. Saying the only reason I read Jane Eyre was to read this one. And it is a humorous retelling of Jane Eyre, in case you didn't know. The other book I have on here is The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. And this is just one I've heard about for a few years, I think, from lots of people, booktube community, even people in real life have referred this book to me. So I don't really know what it's about. I think it's like Russian and it looks cold on the cover. So that's all I really know. I don't know much else about it except that it came in on audiobook from my library. So I'm gonna read that one too. You guys, this is a lot of books for 1 week. Like, some people try to read this many books in a month. I'm betting that all these books aren't gonna get read. I'm betting that Moonstone's gonna fall to the bottom. And the last book that I'm super excited to pick up this week, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick it up because I think I'll be done with The Martian in just a day or two, and then I'll finish Jurassic Park and hopefully finish Save the Date so I can read The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I am ridiculously excited for this. I have been waiting for it. I had it pre-ordered, so it just came this weekend. And I am just stoked for this book. So this book was released like 6 months ago, apparently, to the rest of the world. It just came out in the US like this weekend. And everywhere else it was released The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Not The 7.5, but they changed it because there's a book called The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And the author thought it was a little too close and thought it was going to get mixed up and things like that. And he didn't want to do that, so he renamed it 7.5. I still feel like it's pretty close, but I don't care because I loved Evelyn Hugo and I am anticipating loving Evelyn Hardcastle. So basically this book, I believe, takes place at like 1940s Hollywood, I think. And you go to this party and at the end of the night, Evelyn Hardcastle is killed. The next morning you wake up and you are in somebody else's body and it is the day before and you realize you're given a few different chances through different people's bodies to figure out who killed Evelyn Hardcastle. I don't know if the last night you wake up in Evelyn's body or what. That would be pretty cool. But I have high hopes for this book. High hopes, high expectations. I'm really hoping it doesn't let me down because I actually paid full price for this book. And I never pay full price for books. But that is it. I actually thought I had a really brief TBR going on this week. I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to read. It's fine. I thought I was going to finish up a book and then that was it. But looking at it, I have 4 books that I'm currently in the middle of that I would like to finish. And then 2 books, which I would like to start and finish. I don't think all that's going to happen, so we'll kind of have to see what I'm doing. But by all means, let me know down below what book or books you are planning on reading this week. If you want to buddy read any of these with me, by all means, let me know. I would love to discuss any of these books in the comments. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I usually post videos on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Feel free to find me here at that time. And if you haven't heard about the Get Graphic With It readathon, I will link my video talking about it below and my TBR video below, so you can check those out. And please participate. It's going to be so much fun. It starts October 1st and goes to the 7th. That is everything, and I will look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Hi, Creeper. You're so creepy.